if you're a man and you haven't tried to do a physical challenge that really pushes your boundaries, you're more of a woman than a man, to be honest. You need to be pushing what you think is physically capable. For a long time, I was really unhappy with my life. Confidence was so low. I always thought everyone in school was judging me. I definitely got picked on 100%. I would also just be thinking the whole world was against me. I was crazy depressed, yeah, for sure, man. Like, 'cause I was blaming everything on myself. And then I just was like, fuck this. I cannot do this. Like, I'm either gonna generally tip past the point and be really fucking stuffed, or I'm gonna actually generally do something about it. Started going to the gym during lunch, started getting bigger. Everyone started copying me because like they saw that I was getting bigger. The smallest guy in school, the easiest pickings in school, started getting bigger. I feel sorry for the people that live in the house that they're happy with, have the relationship that they're happy with, have the job that they're happy with, but they don't love it. They're not really where they want to be. They know something's wrong. They are in discomfort with the fact that they know they can do more, but their life is just about okay where they don't want to make a change. And what you can do in that situation is you can...
Welcome to the Willionaire Podcast. I'm Will, founder of Willionaire. If you're running a 6 or 7 figure business, looking to grow faster, connect deeper, and live bigger, then you're in the right place. Inside the Willionaire community, we host sick trips, powerful masterminds, and have real conversations that all move the needle forward. And this podcast, it's simply just a reflection of that energy. In this podcast, you're going to hear from Willionaire members and other top business minds from around the globe. These people have built amazing companies, but even better lives. We're here to show you what's working, challenge the norm, and see everyone rise. So whether you're tuning in from a beach, a boardroom, or you're on a flight to your next mastermind, get ready. This is the Willionaire Podcast.
Lads, welcome back to the Willionaire Podcast. I'm really looking forward to this chat today with Ned. As always, it's going to be a raw, unfiltered, non-scripted chat. And yeah, Ned's been a member of Willionaire for a little while now, and he's doing some amazing things in the online fitness industry. And if you look at the guy, he's absolutely jacked. So let's pass over the torch to him. Ned, give us a little intro, bro. Let us know what you do.
It's awesome to be on, brother. I'm excited to run this. So I do peak performance and fitness coaching, mainly for entrepreneurs and business owners. And yeah, it's something that I really love doing, something that I'm super passionate about. I think you can just feel it from the energy that I bring about it. And yeah, that's what I'm doing at the moment. It's going super well.
Yeah. Go on then. Give us a bit of backstory. Like, why should people listen to you? Why are you a personal trainer or online coach? Sorry. Why do you specialize in peak performance? Like, what sort of accolades do you have? Because besides just not being fat, what else do you have?
Yeah. And I feel like not being fat should be the standard. Yeah. So yeah, I don't think that's even a win. But for me, the reason why I actually got into the whole thing is because I'm big on challenging yourself. I created a post the other day saying that if you're a man and you haven't tried to do a physical challenge that really pushes your boundaries, you're more of a woman than a man, to be honest, because you need to be pushing what you think is physically capable so that you can then realize what your body is capable of, what your mind is capable of. And that's how I got into everything. So I was just doing stuff like I won my first bodybuilding competition, got my pro card. I did a boxing match, won that by knockout, done an ultra run in Hong Kong, like ultra run, swim and climb. And I couldn't even swim very well before I did the run. I had to learn to swim just in the ocean because you had to swim across the ocean. And yeah, I've trained loads of guys. So like for me, it was more that when I was younger, I wasn't really like any of those things. So I've kind of got into them by pushing myself to become another person. And then now I just help other people, and I love doing it.
Nice. I love that, bro. Like, we're very similar in that sense. We love pushing ourselves and seeing what we're actually really capable of. For me, whether it's fighting, running ultramarathons, or going to the gym. You know, so I resonate with that deeply. We actually met in Hong Kong, didn't we?
Yeah.
Was it October, I think?
Yeah. I was super suspicious of you, bro.
Yeah, why were you so suspicious of me?
I don't know. It's a bit random. So like when you have someone reach out to you about some like community thing, like you hear about them all the time, I was just like, here is this guy. But I met up with you anyway. Like, I think I saw your Instagram, you're looking shredded, you're looking dialed. And I was like, okay, this is the guy I can probably actually bond with. And we actually ended up getting on really well.
Bro, I bought you dinner.
Yeah, you did.
And I was still a suspicious guy.
Yeah, you did.
That's funny. So when you push your limits, like, what does that do to you? I know that Andrew Huberman, I'm sure all the listeners know who he is someone who talks about doing hard things and it enhances a certain chemical in your brain. I don't know what it is, but I'm hoping that you do.
Okay, so there's this thing in your brain called the anterior mid-cingulate cortex.
That's the one.
I always kind of pronounce it wrong, but it is super important. And it is being proven that when you push yourself to do hard things, and this actually can be as simple as you want a coffee in the morning, you don't have the coffee in the morning. That is actually pushing yourself to do something you're uncomfortable with. You have a dirty room, you don't want to clean the room, you clean the room. Like, if you're someone that actually enjoys cleaning, then you cleaning your room isn't building this part of your brain. It's generally doing stuff that makes you feel uncomfortable. For example, the other day, you were at the front of the run, doing this run, boys are knackered. I don't know how we were so knackered because it wasn't even that far. But we all happened to be knackered on this run. And you at the front because you're the community leader. You need to be at the front. I'd be disappointed if you weren't at the front, to be honest. Like, this is your community. If I was running a fitness thing at the time, doing one of my fitness events, I would be at the front. And you like wanted to start slowing down because it was knackering. And if you had done that, you're not pushing yourself to build your AMCC. But because you did that, you are pushing yourself to build your MCC. And the more of these hard things you do, the easier it becomes basically to then push yourself more and more. And then the less you do hard things, the harder it becomes, because it's been proven in athletes that their AMCC is bigger than the average person because they're consistently doing things that they don't want to do.
Day in and day out.
So it's fucking crazy.
It's building a disciplined routine which is consistent of doing hard things, not just doing one hard thing once and then telling yourself that you're a tough man. It's doing things over and over again, which you don't enjoy doing.
I can't even imagine what David Goggins' MCC looks like.
Yeah.
It's probably bursting out of his skull.
Now, with David Goggins, do you think, what is his dopamine levels like? Do you think he's super happy or super miserable? And the reason I ask that question is because he's doing a bunch of hard shit, which should make him very resilient, and his MCC will be high. You know, so he'll be enjoying doing those things to some extent. Or do you think he's always miserable because he's always fucking running 100 kilometers every single morning?
Yeah, but I think he gets pleasure out of the misery.
He does.
Yeah, I get the same, I'd say. Like, you almost get that discomfort once you step into that. I like to think of business, life, like these hard things, becoming a genuine man, as if you're stepping on this ship. You can go on the ship, load supplies on it, go back to shore, all this sort of stuff. But once you sail the ship, all this land goes away. And now it's just you in the middle of the ocean. You either keep sailing or you sink. And once you decide to go all in on business, all in on your life, you no longer got a job, you no longer got this and that, you've put those things aside, you quit, just like you did when you came to Koh Samui. You have no choice. You either sink or swim. And I really think that decides whether you are a genuine man or not. If you let yourself sink, then that's down to you. Because even if you get in the worst situations possible, look at Alex Amosi. He, like, his business partner stole all of his money. Look at him now. Yeah. And that is generally because some men swim, some men sail their ship, even during rough waters, and some men let it sink.
You sink or swim. Going back to that ship analogy, I'm quite into my history at the minute. And I've just said I'm quite into my history, and I can't remember if it's the Spanish or the Portuguese. But anyway, the Spanish or the Portuguese went to, I'm sure it's the Spanish, went to South America. And the troops were absolutely knackered. All these soldiers were almost dead. Like, they were starving, they were thirsty, they were dehydrated. And in order to boost morale, what the leader of these troops did, he burnt the boats.
Yeah.
He set all the boats on fire and blamed it on the enemies, so that their only hope of getting back was by conquering South America.
Yeah.
And
the Vikings used to do that.
Yeah. And that phrase is so applicable in life. I'm sure you did that to some extent. I know I did that when I moved to Thailand with zero plan. I was like, fuck this, there is no going back. And you've got to make it your only option. It's like putting your back up against the ropes. If you don't do anything, you're going to get knocked out. If you do something, if you move your feet, if you move your head, if you throw your hands, if you throw a knee in there, then you're going to get back in the fight.
Yeah, I agree with you. The thing is, it's easy to feel like you've sunk the ship when you haven't. Like, when you were doing the kickboxing and your business with the shoes and stuff, did you feel like you had sunk the ship then or not?
I felt like I was a madman.
Exactly.
And we were talking there about how David Goggins gets enjoyment from basking in the misery. I got serious fulfillment knowing that I was the only person I knew doing what I was doing. Yeah. And that just made me feel crazy. And I knew other people looked at me and think, oh, this kid's mad. This kid's like, what's going on with him? Yeah.
I had the same at uni, man. Like, I went to uni, and I honestly think I'd be further ahead right now if I didn't go to uni. But I have no regrets in uni. It massively built me as a person. And one thing that happened at uni is, like, I was living with people, really like them, good guys, but they're smoking weed, for example, eating really unhealthy food, drinking. I was doing a bodybuilding competition. You cannot even eat a single square of a chocolate bar. Like, you cannot do that. And that discipline every single day, it wasn't like a tough run where you push through the tough run, but you get a nice warm shower at the end, you get a cold shower at the end, and you get to chill. And maybe you do some work, but at least you're back in a comfortable place. This was 24/7. Like, I slept, I woke up at 6 o'clock, I went for a sea swim in the winter when I was just like no body fat on me. It was absolutely freezing. My mate Tom would force me out, which is why having good people around you is so important. I then trained super, super hard after eating and having a coffee. And then the whole day as well, I would be obviously working on my business. I was training people then. And all the time I'd be offered to, do you want to go drink tonight? Ned, do you want to smoke tonight?
Yeah.
Ned, like I'd be sitting, if I was even watching something or walking through the kitchen, oh, do you want some chocolate? This and that constantly. And throughout the whole time, I'd say no, 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 no. And there's so many days like when your body is so depleted when you're doing a bodybuilder competition that if you had no distractions, it would be a lot easier. Like if the food wasn't there, it would be 10 times easier because your body is craving carbs. Like it's craving carbs because you have such limited carbs that you're like taking like intake. But I'm so glad they were around because it massively built up my personality to say no to those things. And I think it's just built me as a person in terms of my nutrition, being able to say no to stuff because I had 6 months where I had to do it. So I don't know. I honestly think actually as a guy, you're better off having instead of avoiding stuff, you're better off having it there and purposely and saying no to it than like saying to your mum, oh, don't buy these foods, don't do that, don't do this. It's just like, okay, instead of that, how can you sort yourself out? Instead of having to shy away from these things and shy away from the temptations, how can you just not get involved with them?
That's super interesting. I was reflecting on this heavily. Temptation is a blessing. Like,
I agree.
looking at my life, I'm so glad that the devil's around. I'm so glad that temptation's real. Because what would it'd be just too easy. It'd be too straightforward if there was no temptation.
Yeah.
You know, you need things. And like, I know when I get tempted, I look at myself and I think, all right, well, what are you going to do? And that conversation with yourself, that brings out either the best or the worst in you. And you've just got to make sure that one side's a lot stronger than the other.
But how do you feel when you give into it?
Oh, I feel disgusted with myself.
Yeah.
And that's probably like the worst feeling I get. And like, it's not uncommon. Like I give into temptation in small doses frequently.
Yeah.
Like it depends what sort of level of the spectrum we're talking. Like I'm not going out and like committing murder, or like I'm not going out and like.
How are you tempted to do that?
Well, I'm not. Well, what the fuck? I'm not tempted. But yeah, like I'm not. Like I don't know. Like I'm not even tempted to go out partying. I'm not tempted to go out smoking weed. But it's like the small intricate things in my life which compound. Sometimes I get tempted to do the opposite.
Yeah.
And when I do those things, I feel disgusted in myself, and that feeling of disgust is enough to make me not want to do it. Just like having a hangover from drinking. The hangover for me is enough of a punishment for me to not drink.
Yeah. Yeah, which is actually why it's also blessed that a lot of temptations come with punishments.
Yeah.
Because then it makes it easier for you to not take the temptation. And then that just comes down to like your ability to future pace stuff. Like, can the version of you now think about how this is going to affect you tomorrow? Or think about how this is going to affect you in a month? Or 2 months, or 3 months, or 4 months, or even a year. And it's about getting that balance because, yeah, if you overthink that, then you'll be someone that stays stuck, not taking any action because they're worried about where it's going to take them in 1 month, tomorrow, the next day. And you might end up having no fun because you're not enjoying what is in front of you. But then if you underdo that, then you just succumb to a temptation and then you're just taking every single thing that comes after you. You just become dopamine bound and then you're not in control of your life. And I feel like the only way for you to move forward with your life is to be in control of it.
Why do you think some guys don't take action?
It's because they're not in control of their life.
Yeah.
If you are blaming, I've even heard the government is causing this. Yeah, okay, your government might be in an economic crisis. And I do get that. It doesn't necessarily make it easier for you. It might make it harder for you. And obviously war is a bit of a separate thing, but in that situation, there will be some people doing very, very well. And you need to stop looking at the people that aren't doing well and start looking at the people that are. Because by following the people that are, you're going to start progressing in their direction. If you're skiing through the trees and you only look at the trees, you will hit a tree. If you're skiing through the trees and you look at the pathway through them, you will ski the pathway through the trees. And in life, you have to always look for the pathway, not the obstacles.
Wisdom there, Ned.
Mm.
Wisdom, brother. I like that.
Yeah.
So
You're the man of wisdom. I see you reading these stoic books like 24/7.
bro, I love my philosophy.
I saw this guy coming to the airport. He's talking to a girl whilst reading like a stoic book or something like that.
Where was this?
in the airports in Bulgaria.
On the way.
Yeah.
What was I
You
doing?
got like a stoic book in one hand. You're talking to a girl at the other side. That was just funny.
Teaching
So
us some
funny.
philosophy.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I know which girl you're on about. She asked us what I do for work, and I told her I was a poet. And I said to her, has a poet ever asked for your number before? And she was like, no. I was like, would you be completely opposed?
The confidence on you is crazy, man. I like it a lot.
High tea, bro, high tea.
I had to, yeah. We got the results today.
Yeah, my results came back for my test this morning. I got them done literally this time last year, and it was like 800 and something, and it was already considered high. And then I got them done again this year. To be honest, I expected it to be the same. Like, I don't feel a profound difference from this time last year. And yeah, it was like 1017.
Yeah, your results were super high. And your actual free testosterone was super high. We was living life on fucking attack mode.
Yeah, and I was speaking to one of the boys, Shire. He's on test, and he said he swiped up to my story saying, "Oh, like sick results." I said, "What are you? You must be at like 2,000." He said, "No, I'm like 4,000."
4,000.
Imagine having like this is something I can't even like fathom because I've never touched gear.
4,000 is crazy.
Yeah,
I would never touch it though. Purely because one, it doesn't ethically mix with me. Like, I don't work with people that are on gear. I work with some guys that have been on something and they're looking to come off, and I help them to get their levels of testosterone to that point whilst like kind of tapering down off it. But depends on what they've been on. Sometimes you're a bit too far gone depending on where you've gone. But for me, it's like I wake up feeling like I want to attack the day. And the longer I can do that, the better. If I get to 60 and I no longer feel that, yeah, maybe I'll do a little bit of TRT. But for now, I'm doing that. And you can just do that through your life, in my opinion. Like, the more you wake up and you feel like you want to get it, or the more you wake up and instantly through your head comes your goals, comes the targets that you have, most likely you have the high testosterone. Testosterone is massively linked with purpose, with like goal setting. Like, people that want to attack the day tend to have high testosterone. Well, actually kind of the opposite. Like, high testosterone makes you more fueled to go out there and achieve something. It kind of, this testosterone is the whole thing that makes you want to, as a man, conquer.
well, think of
why
all
we
the
have
people
it,
that
right?
we're surrounded with. Think about all the boys in Willionaire.
Yeah.
They've all got purpose. They've
Yeah.
all got drive. They've all got a vision. Funny enough, they're all fucking jacked.
Yeah, exactly. It's true. So true. All of them.
And I think you attract like the people. What am I trying to say here? You attract the people that you reflect of yourself. So although you're a product of your environment, it's also the opposite of that.
Yeah.
I think your environment comes to you, or you attract your environment because of the person that you are. It's like people wouldn't join Willionaire if I wasn't like a high performing male. If I was just some bum, if I was like weak, skinny, drinking, smoking weed,
Because no one respects it.
no one respects that. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you get a lot of respect when you were at your hometown for the kickboxing and stuff?
So that was a funny one. Like, I got respect from the guys at my gym because they knew I was good. They see the like, effort I put in. But there's this time where I went on like 4 losses in a row, like all split decisions. I thought I won them all. And all my friends were like proper taking the piss out of that. Like, so,
What, the ones not in the gym?
yeah, the ones not in the gym. But besides like my actual friends, or so-called friends at the time, everyone else like really respect us. I'd go out in town, like in Newcastle, and people be like, "Oh, yo, Will, I see you do kickboxing." I said, "What the fuck?" Like, I'm not like, yeah, I do kickboxing. I fight on like quite a lot of local shows, but I'm not like on
Yeah,
YouTube. Like, a few of my fights are on YouTube, but I'm not like on Sky Sports. You know what I mean? Like, how do people even know this?
Yeah.
So that definitely gave me a lot of respect. And when I came to Thailand, people like see my Instagram, and I had loads of fighting posts on my Instagram because that was my life. And people instantly respected that. Even though I didn't really have a business at the time, I was getting into rooms that I probably couldn't have got in just because people respected me because of my kickboxing experience.
Yeah. I feel like you have to fight as a guy. You have to do some sort of fight. Even if you don't want to step in the ring, do some sort of training. You know what I mean? Like, you need to feel like you can attack. Like, even when you know your workouts are going good, you know your training's going good, when you're in the gym and you're actually thinking of yourself like in a fight, or like the other day I was thinking about me taking on a buffalo in the wilderness because of, like, my imagination was just going crazy in the gym because I was training so hard. I was actually thinking about me taking down a buffalo to eat as if I was surviving in the middle of nowhere. So random. But I honestly, I've trained guys like even Jacques, one of these guys I trained, he said the other day he felt like he could take on a buffalo. And like, it's generally a really weird thing, but a few of the guys I've trained, the more I train them, the more they talk about stuff like this. Like
buffaloes.
not just, yeah, like buffaloes, but like feeling like you can conquer, like when you're in the gym, having that thought that you can attack and you can do all these things, that you generally start imagining yourself in scenarios. And I feel like fighting is a big thing for that. Like, you need to feel like if something happened, you could generally really, really back yourself. Because if you don't feel like that, you're not going to feel like a boy. You're not going to feel like someone that can attack the day, which is why actually having the skill of being able to fight, knowing that you can, it's not necessarily that you ever need to fight, but you need to know that you have that within you, because that pulls out the protector that you are. And like when you're with a girl, you know that you can walk with confidence through the street because you have that skill backing you. You're in good shape and you're a man that can protect them. And I think that for me is super important.
Yeah. It's just being that, it's just being a man. It's being a manly man, like a man who's there to provide, to protect, and just be respected. Like every guy wants respect.
Yeah.
And you don't get that through being like, even if I look at some people I know, like, especially from the UK, we have a lot of rich older men, like in their like 40s and 50s, but they're all out of shape. They all drink whiskey. And like, to me, I was like, I would not want to be in your position.
No. I agree.
Bit. Like, health is wealth. Like, that is a frequently used saying, but it's a currency. It's like, think how many people want to be in your shape. Think how many people would pay however much money to be in your shape. Loads of people. Loads of money.
And the cool thing about being in shape, I think, is that even if you are born with a lot of money, then you have a lot of money. Like, you can actually generally get money without putting in any effort. You can't get it in good shape without putting in no effort. Unless you start blasting testosterone. But even when you start blasting testosterone, it just makes it easier to get the results. Especially if you do it like right at the beginning when you got no results, which would be stupid. But getting in shape is a key thing because it shows that you put the work in to get there. No one can take it from you. You can't buy it. And then it's just pure proof that you take the actions that you want to take and that you have control over yourself as a man.
Nice. I like
That is my opinion. Like, no one can take it from you.
Yeah.
You can't just be in shape and someone takes it from you. It like shows that you're consistently putting it in as well, because you don't just stay in shape. You have to get into shape and then do the work to stay in shape as well.
You need to be the person that men want to be, women want to.
Yeah. And for you to, when you moved to Koh Samui, why did you actually make that change? Because if you're at home, you're doing the kickboxing, you're doing the job. You told me you had a pretty good job, right?
Well, I wasn't getting paid a lot.
Yeah.
But like the future aspirations of the role was there. They wanted us to fill the shoes of the development director, which obviously in the UK that's like a 60 to 100k salary, I suppose.
Yeah.
But what made me take the jump, I was frustrated with the position I was in because I was putting in like endless amounts of work. Not just like the effort I was putting in. It was like all of my thoughts were concentrated to being successful. And the amount of effort that took of like staying away from the clubs, staying away from the girls, staying away from like all the seemingly fun things was like really making us mad. And I was really angry at my life. And then it came a point where my gran died. I was like, fuck, all right, like I'm actually going to die. That came pretty real. And then I tore my shoulder in a fight and I couldn't train kickboxing. I was like, all right, look, let's just go to Thailand. I knew a guy who moved to Thailand. I was like, fuck it, let's just do it.
Damn. That is cool.
Burn the boats.
And just went.
Just went, yeah.
Yeah, I remember you saying as well that everyone was saying it was a holiday. And you were like, this isn't a holiday for me. I'm going, I'm staying, and I'm going to become successful out here.
The thing with that, people did say, Will's just gone on holiday. But I think they were saying that because they knew. So they'd always call me main character. And I took that as an insult. They're like, always, oh, there's main character.
Damn.
But I thought that was an insult at the time. I was like, oh, they think that I'm like egotistical, or they think that I'm like selfish and shit like that. But then at the time, no, it's just like I'm living my life the way I want to live my life. I'm doing things that other people aren't doing. Like I started a shoe cleaning business. I didn't know how to run a business. I was doing kickboxing fights. I lost 4 in a row, and I was still kept showing up. And then I won that amateur European championship. It's like I got a good job. I wasn't working on site, you know, more of a desirable job. Probably not in some people's eyes, but I was giving it a go. And then when I said I was going to move to Thailand to try and make money online, they were like, oh, Will's going on holiday. But I think deep down they knew that I was going to give it a good crack. And I think they were saying that just to like deter us away from it.
Yeah.
Which is fucked. Like, they were supposed to be my good friends.
Yeah, I don't know. It's also hard because what you're doing is when you have a good friend that isn't taking those steps forward, by you taking those steps forward, you're getting a mirror and you're going, look at yourself, like, look at what you're not doing.
Yeah.
And every time they see you, you are that mirror. So you have to look at it a bit sternly. So instead of being like, okay, this guy's not a good friend, he's acting like this and that, inside he's probably thinking that you're stepping away from him. He's getting sad that you're stepping away from him. And then he's also getting sad because it's making him realize how little progress he's making. That's what I noticed about a lot of my friends. Like when they were being spiteful or they were being nasty or they were not even nasty, like they were just like making small comments to try and almost bring me back to their level. It's because I'm holding a mirror in their face and saying like, look at where you are, because I was a complete loser before. And to step from going from a complete loser to where I am now, it shows how much progress can be made. And I think to a lot of people, that was almost offensive to them because it showed how little they had done. But to some people, they got inspired by it.
Yeah.
And I have friends, old friends, or like people that used to know me that are now, either I might be training them, I'm training a few of the guys, or they're just smashing it because they've been inspired by me and then they've done more, which for me is amazing. And like, then I'm super happy to help them because I love people that see someone else doing something and I'm nowhere near where I want to go, but see someone else doing something. And instead of being like, oh, they got there because of this, they got there because of that, they think, wow, I want to be there. Like, what can I do to get there?
Yeah. It's raising the value of other people around you. It's being an inspiration, albeit like we're nowhere near where we want to be. We're far from our potentials. But the fact that we are having an impact on people, like people have told me this, like they've texted me, people from my hometown, like guys a few years younger, guys a few years older. And like the fact that we can do that, that adds so much more fuel to the fire.
Yeah, it's amazing, man. It is amazing. I think a lot of guys as well are doing this whole thing for respect. And you start to feel that the further you go up. I mean, that just shows like, are there some guys that are doing 50K a month, some guys that are doing 10K a month, some guys that are doing 100K a month, some that are doing 150K a month. Like the difference between those and lifestyle becomes less and less and less. From 10 to 50, yeah, big jump. From 50 to 100 and even 50 to 150, I don't really see a massive difference in their life, like how they live their life. They're all dialed in with their business, all working a lot, all training, and then they're all spending seems like a similar amount. In all honesty, like the 50K a month person can live with the 150K a month person because their spending seems really similar. All that is at that point becomes respect, both personal respect and external respect of, one, look at where I've got to internally, like look at myself, look at where I am now. I used to earn £2,000 a month at a job, now I'm doing 150K a month. It internally gives yourself a lot of respect. And two, people look up to you because they want to be at your level, because they want the respect that you have from other people. So I think, yeah, a massive thing is just respect for this thing, like, which is why you kind of want to max out all your stats. Like what I call it is physically jacked and financially stacked.
Physically jacked and financially stacked.
Yeah.
I like that.
I did a mastermind in Marbella and I literally titled it physically jacked, financially stacked. People loved it.
You can do that on the Samui one too, Ned.
Yeah, man.
Nice. Yeah, do you think you're on all-time high so far on all your metrics?
I think I was. I'm not really 100% too sure. So all-time high, like in terms of the business, like fitness, all those sort of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a hard question to answer because at no time you're gonna feel like you're an all-time high.
Yeah.
I feel fucking really good when stuff happens that's negative in the business. Often it's a blessing. I love the way you drink that water. It's just like a weird little.
I don't want to smash the mic and end up deep throating it.
Deep-throating the mic. Alex did that on the last
Yeah,
one.
nah, proper.
But yeah,
sus.
I think it's hard to be at an all-time high. Like, yes, you are going to be, but you're never going to fully feel like you're there because, okay, so you get an all-time high within the business and fitness, and then obviously some other part of your life is going to be slightly less. Like, you're an all-time high with the time you spend with your family, your friends, and your business, and then maybe your fitness will be a bit less. Like, an important thing is, in my opinion, to have all three going, but like, the balance doesn't really exist. You have to lose a bit of balance in some place to put more focus in another place. So it's hard to say if I'm an all-time high at everything because I never think you are really at an all-time high with everything. Like there's just different stages in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I had to sacrifice things last month to grow the business. This month, I've had to sacrifice things to grow the chemistry within the community. Next month, in May, well, late May, I'm going on holiday with my family for a week.
That's nice, man.
And I want to be present with them, and I want the system set in a place where, like they say, if your business doesn't run when you're not present, you got a job, not a business. So I want my business to be a proper business by the 18th of May when I go to Turkey with my family.
I would say my business right now is more of a job, but that's because I'm very involved. I'm very in the trenches. If I train a guy, I'm putting the boxing gloves on with them and I'm in their corner. It's like me with their future version fighting their old version and I'm in the corner with them with the gloves on.
Sorry, Ned, I'm sorry. I've just got a picture of a corner man with boxing gloves on.
A corner man?
You're in their corner with boxing gloves on. How are you going to give them water?
No, I'm not the corner man. We have a separate corner man. Like that would be all the other people involved. But like I'm actually just in there. We're basically 2v1ing.
2v1, okay.
Yeah,
we're
2v1ing, which is why the results are it is so guaranteed. It's so easy to happen because when you 2v1 someone that's weaker, it's even easier. Like I'm basically just stepping in to the ring. And let's say their future self and their current self are fighting each other. I'm backing the future self, and then we're just destroying the old self. Obviously, when I say destroying, I'm not meaning like just like complete killing, because everyone always has super valuable things within who they are, and you never lose your characteristics. But at times, it is that, let's say you have the habits of someone that is out of shape, can't get a good physique whilst building a business. I'm fighting that version to help them become the person that can build an amazing physique whilst having an amazing business. And that requires me to be very much in the trenches with them. So I'd say at the moment I have more of a job, but again, like that will build out and that will become more, like you said, a business as time goes on.
How do you see you following that direction?
Yeah, so that just comes with having amazing people within the business, hiring really, really good athletes, like certain people. And the reason why I've held off for that is because I want to make sure that I'm finding the best people, actually making sure they're extremely well compensated and they get good flexibility within the business so they can perform super high, because I don't want to just train mediocre. I want to make sure that we're doing everything. So what I'll likely next hire, the next person I'll hire, will probably be someone that has strengths that I don't have in terms of fitness, in terms of all these sort of things. And that will be for me, like pointing out where my strengths are, where I'm most interested in terms of fitness, business, and like accountability. And then getting someone in that can help with those things. And then also getting someone in that can just double down on accountability with the guys as well.
Nice. That's good. You've only got a setter at the minute, don't you?
I have a setter and a video editor.
A setter and a video editor. Nice. Where do you get the setter from?
So setter actually came from one of your boys. So Julius from within Willionaire, and the video editor is one of the guys from Willionaire. So yeah, both from Willionaire.
Imagine that.
Yeah, that's why you join, man. I guess it just gives you access to people that you wouldn't have access to before.
Can you ever see yourself hiring a closer?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely can see myself hiring a closer. That'll be in the future though. I think I want to hire a very, very good trainer first, and then I'll keep closing, and then I'll hire a closer.
Yeah. I like being the person who closes my deals, although my sales process is really weird.
Very long.
Yeah, sometimes it's not even long. Most of the time it is. But it's like I wouldn't want anyone else to decide who comes into Willionaire other than me.
Yeah, and you're very casual about it. Like we're speaking like this morning. He's like, you don't pressure anyone to come in. for me, it's like, I don't pressure anyone. I will actually say no to the people I don't think are a good fit. But if someone needs to take action, then I'm there to help them take action. So
You're
they
helping
might be
them.
nervous to take action, and that might be in the close. So I kind of have to close them to help them. So because me saying, okay, like, we don't have to do this now, we can do it later, is just letting them do exactly what they've done for so long. So I actually have to be good at helping them take action. And that starts with actually getting them to either invest in me, invest in something else, or just start taking the action they know they should be taking within fitness, the house, and all those sort of things. So that then I can then help them take more and more action after I work with them. Like, for me, if someone's not willing to take any sort of action on maybe the second at least call, or maybe even the third one, most of people, the guys I train, they do it on the first one, especially the ones that do really well. It just shows to me a little bit that they're going to struggle to take action throughout the whole thing. And like, it might be that you haven't taken action for so long, but okay, let's move out the 1.0 version of yourself. Let's move into the 2.0 version of yourself, and let's take that step today, because then you're actually going to then continuously take steps after that. Where if you continuously allow yourself, and I allow you to delay that action again and again and again and again, then when I train you, we're going to have that same bond of that I'm the person that allows you to delay action. So I very quickly set the frame. So if, like, financially, for example, it's difficult, okay, that's completely different. Like, I don't want anyone to be in a unusual financial situation. But if that's not the issue, and it's just generally the issue is you're nervous to take action, then I have to support you through that to make sure that you're taking the action you need. So I can't be as casual as you are, because for you, it's less about helping them take action, more about getting them involved in something bigger.
Yeah.
And they have to want to do that.
I'm positioning my thing slightly different now. So up until now, I've just sold it and marketed it through like authenticity and showing how like the relationships in Willionaire are like genuine. Guys literally live together. Like, you've lived with multiple people in multiple countries now.
Yeah, I've lived with loads of Willionaire boys.
Yeah. And so's loads of Willionaire boys live with loads of Willionaire boys. And that's what I really like. So that was the main selling point. But now, as we're looking to scale and take it to the next level, that remains a key focus. But the other selling point now is the fact that people don't need another course. They don't need another internet guru. They need a community. They need a brotherhood. And to be fair, you're a good example of that. You joined Willionaire, and then your business, funny enough, doubled every single month for like 3 months. That's because you didn't need a course.
And that's not from training guys in Willionaire. Just to say, if anyone's watching that thinking that I joined Willionaire and then I just ended up training loads of guys in Willionaire, and that's why my business doubled, that's not true at all. Like, I actually only trained 2 of the guys in Willionaire, hardly trained any of them. And it was literally just because of the fact that, one, I had access to more people, like got a good setter. I had Julius, who was massively supportive to me, and I've massively supported Julius. Like, I've helped him so much. Like, he's made loads of progress within the gym. Like, he would vouch massively for me for that, and he does talk about it all the time in the group. But he's helped me a lot, massively, with my setter, and he helped me massively with my business in the early stages, like take the steps that I needed to take. And now we're actually more on the same level, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
And we support each other a lot. But yeah, like, it wasn't, I haven't watched any of your course content, in all honesty, bro.
Oh,
And
bro,
I'm
that course doesn't even exist.
does it not exist anymore?
Nah, like, I started on school, but yeah, I don't even know why I put that there in the first place.
Yeah, I never watched it. But I think that just shows how much people don't need a course, and they just need a community. It's a bit like with my thing. Like, it's not a course. Like, there's no point me just creating a course for someone or programs for someone that are pre-made that I just send them. Because you can just go to ChatGPT for that. You can just go on YouTube for that. It's literally, I build it out for them based on what their life looks like. And then a massive thing is just accountability. It's like done with you. So instead of you doing it on your own, because most people know what to do with the gym, you can find a program online, but instead you have someone with you that's in the trenches with you, moving through with you. And it's the same thing with you. And it's not necessarily that you're doing it, but it's the boys within it are all in the trenches together moving forward.
Yeah. It's nice that other people celebrate all of our wins together. For example, you weren't even there, man. This is the day that you landed, or you landed on the evening. Well, like, we all had like 6 months so far. So we all got a yacht for Alfie's birthday.
Yeah, that's sick.
That was the day. That was such a good day.
Yeah, I heard that with Julius and everything on the yacht.
Oh yeah, Julius was there as well.
Yeah, that looked cool.
I thought Julius was on his way to pick you up from the airport, but he went after.
Yeah, that did look cool.
We spent a lot of money in Marbella.
Yeah, I spent a lot of money in Marbella.
That's what we were saying. We were saying like we made like 25k in that month, and my bank stayed the same.
Yeah, same. I made like probably one of the most amount of monies I made. Monies? Probably one of the most, like, I probably did, some of the highest months I've done in Marbella, and got some serious progress with the business. But my bank just stayed exactly the same because I was spending so much. I mean, every time we went out for a meal, the minimum, like bare minimum we were spending per person was at least £100. And there was normally way more of us than that. And that was the bare minimum. I think I went for breakfast and spent £120 with like my girlfriend. Breakfast.
Oh yeah, you got your girl to Marbella. That's when I'd left.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in Bangkok by then. What was it like having your girl live with you?
Yeah, it was really nice, man. It was really, really nice. It's unusual as an entrepreneur having a girlfriend because you're moving around loads. But if you're in a good enough position, then it becomes easier because then you can get them out to you and all these sort of things.
I'm in this interesting position right now. Like I would like a girlfriend. I'd like a woman in my life who helps me and wants me to win just as much as I do. But it's then like finding the girl. First of all, like I'm not in a location long enough to date a girl to know like I like her. The second thing is I've not yet met a girl who I think instantly deserves the life that she would get by being my girlfriend. That sounds really weird.
Yeah.
But like she'd be living in lush places, she'd be moving country all the time,
Yeah.
seeing all these magical things, going for nice food. Like I've not found someone that brings value to me enough. Like no one who cares for me that much or wants me to win that much that I'd want to like provide that for them.
Yeah, I think for me as well, I get that massively. For me as well, it's so important. I can't just do short-term one-night stands. They just don't do it for me. I like genuine connection. Like that's what I want. I'm just not that sort of guy that just wants, even when I haven't had a missus or I haven't been with someone, I still don't want to do it. Like it doesn't really get me going. Just because when you build a good connection with someone, you're both there to support each other, and then it's way better. And the thing is, I know I could go out and do loads of one-night stands. Like every time I have had the thought, I've done it.
Well, you're not building the AMCC.
Yeah, exactly. And then I'm retracting from the AMCC. But it's like, I don't want to do that because I feel like it takes me away from being the person that has a girlfriend. Like the more girls, in my opinion, you sleep with, the higher your body count gets, the harder it comes to get a genuine connection. And most guys say like that's not true. Like Andrew Tate would have the opposite opinion, for example. But I feel like Andrew Tate, if you look at his life, he hasn't got a genuine girl. It doesn't seem like he has one woman in his life that really moves him forward. You look at Andy Elliott, he talks about how important it is for him to have his wife and how big his wife has been. And actually, if you look at some of the most successful people in the world, they actually have a really, really good, genuine connection with their girl. And that for me is super important.
All kings had a queen, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
You've
got to get the right queen.
I've seen your wallpaper on your phone. It's a picture of Andrew Tate.
No, shut up. Smoking a cigar with a girl.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Can we just clarify that? It's not Andrew Tate.
What is your lock screen?
It is literally a reminder from 6 months ago saying send some documents somewhere. That is my lock screen.
Why?
Because I had to send some documents somewhere and I didn't want to forget it.
You've never changed it.
Never changed it. I used to have like the manifestation lock screen like you do, but it doesn't do anything because you see it so regularly. I just was not processing it ever. Like it was just in the background, and I know, okay, maybe then subconsciously it starts to go in, but for me it didn't do anything. For me, what actually builds my personal goals and thing is actually generally having like a master vision, which is what I call it, is what I do with the guys that I work with, which really in depth lays out where you want to go, why you want to go there, where you're at now, the person that you want to be. You'll do it when I start training you eventually, because that's 100% going to happen. But it really helps you to understand why you're going to do what you're going to do. So it makes you way more fueled to go and do it. And it does take a bit of time, but for that, it's really, really does push you forward. And in that, you can have images. Like, for example, in that, I have the exact car that my mum wants. I have the exact color, the exact make, everything down to the seating type. I even have photos of the car, and I have a photo of other mums crying when their son has bought them a car. Because I have this image in my head that when I bring a car round, I drive it in, and my mum says, like, nice car. And I'm like, it's not mine,
Yeah.
it's yours. And I have this image of how my mum will react. And that is something that really, really fuels me because I feel like she deserves that. And the clearer I have that image in my head, the more drive I have to get it, and the more I can work backwards to achieve that goal because I understand where I'm heading.
I love that, man.
Mm.
I manifest things heavily. And one of the ones, hopefully this podcast won't be released by when I'm in Turkey or before I'm in Turkey with my family, which is the 18th of May. I'm going to book my family this like amazing dinner. I don't care how much money it spends.
Yes.
I do not give a fuck. And to picture the scene, there's this place in Turkey in Ludeniz or close to Ludeniz, more so in the countryside, and there's a ghost village. And what I mean by ghost village or ghost town, it's ages ago when the Greeks were living in Turkey, because obviously the borders were different then, they had to leave. So they all left their houses, they had to leave absolutely everything to go back for a census or for war or something. And the houses are all on the hills, these towns, exactly how they were.
That's so sick.
Like stone houses.
Pompeii type shit.
Yeah, and like the view, like looking at them is insane. And there's restaurants like at the bottom of the town, and you can just look up on the hill, and there's all these like empty, old stone houses, and it's fucking phenomenal. And like you can imagine like this, just the vibe there, it's just insane. And there's these really nice open outside restaurants with like chill music, like jazz in the distance. There's wine tasting, and I want to take my family there. And I know my dad likes his jumbo prawns, and I know he likes his fillet steaks.
Nice.
I know they all like the wine.
Good.
I've got my niece and my nephew are going to be there.
So you know what it is though. Like you're even
Yeah.
describing about the sacks, exactly the setting. And like that allows you to push more towards being in a position where you can afford to do that sort of thing.
And there's one about my mum, which I'll tell you about off the podcast because it's about a birthday. And this will probably be released. Actually, no, it'll not be. I hope it won't anyway.
Either way, I think your mum, unless she watches all your podcasts, you'll be good.
Yeah, so it's my mum's 50th.
Yeah.
On the 30th of May. So I'm going to take her to Athens.
Nice.
Yeah, because she's got like family there. She's got a cousin who lives in Athens.
Wow.
And she used to be really close to her when they were kids. So one, I think it'd be really nice to go there. Two, she likes it when I enjoy myself as well. So if I do something that's like just for her, she'll probably not enjoy it as much.
As much, yeah.
So I'll take her to Athens because like there's loads of like history there, and she'll find that interesting, and she'll enjoy that I'm enjoying it as well.
Yeah.
Like shit like that. So I'm gonna take her to Athens. We're gonna go around there. We're gonna spend like a long weekend.
Yeah. I want to do something like that.
Yeah.
with my mum, actually.
That's for her 50th birthday.
Wow. I like that a lot. I need to do something like that as well for sure, actually, because it's a good point. Your parents actually like it when you're enjoying the thing as well. They get more involved with it. It's really cool as well being a son that actually took the step to move forward, and then you can then provide them stuff like this. Like I took my girl and my mom out on a meal, and like I was just like, my mom was trying to order like tap water and stuff. I was like, no, just like get what you want, mom. Like got a big glass of wine, like we're getting sparkling water, like we're just basically ordering starters, desserts, like whatever we wanted. And it was super nice for me to be able to do that, because if I had done that a year ago, I would have been really conscious about the amount we were spending.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, obviously we're not just earning, I'm not a multi-millionaire, but the amount we were doing then didn't really mean much to me at all.
And
which
plus
was super nice.
the act of spending that, especially on your family, it's just increasing your aura.
Yeah, it's the most important thing. Like it's so nice to see your mom, and you can see that they start to have more faith in you as well. So then it increases the responsibility that I feel like I have in my life to provide, which then makes me work harder.
Yeah. And that's ultimately where I'm at now as well. Like my family's starting to understand that what I'm doing isn't just a side hustle. It's not to fund my lifestyle living in Thailand, just doing Muay Thai. I'm actually building a legacy here. I'm building a £1 million business per month. But yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I agree. I haven't got as much of that legacy thought of like building up. I guess I do actually, because I want to own multiple houses to give to my kids. So yeah, actually that's the lie. I do have a legacy thought. But I also think we all die.
I want
at
to
the end
own
of the day.
all of my like sisters. So I've got like a few siblings, especially my sisters. Like I want to look after my sisters. I want to own all of their houses.
Yeah.
Not like so they don't have anything. I mean,
Yeah, I
like,
was gonna say.
I want to like house them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I want to get them
You've
lovely
got to
houses.
be careful though. If they want to do that, you have to see.
Yeah,
Like, because I
course they
think
do.
as entrepreneurs, you can force it onto people, but they don't necessarily always want it. But yeah, of course they do. If I bought my brother a Range Rover, he would not say no. He'd be like, "Give that over to me, baby," and he'd be driving it. So yeah, I guess 100%. I always have this sort of buying like a family house in Greece or something that we all can go to. That is like not rented out and like everyone has access to it throughout the year. So like we all have, as a family, I've paid for a house for us so that we can all just go to Greece whenever we want and have
Yeah.
a place to stay. I think that'd be cool.
I like that.
Mm.
I like that. One of mine's, it's a £3 million house in the UK, which is actually really cheap for what it is because it's in Northumberland.
Damn.
The housing prices are way less. It's got like different wings in it. It's a manor.
Damn.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking like, so if my family's divorced, like my mum and my dad.
Yeah.
So I've got two separate families, but it's sound.
Mm.
They've got separate wings, bro.
That's good.
You know what I mean? Like they can both be there over Christmas, have Christmas meal together. They can open the presents separately. You know what I mean? Like, but they're just all there, and
Yeah.
I'm just standing there like, this is mine. This is my kingdom. I've got all my family and loved ones here.
Do you when did your parents separate? When you were a kid?
Yeah, I was primary school, I think.
Yeah. How do you feel like that affected you?
I think I was young enough where it didn't affect us too much. I remember crying and stuff, but they're pretty sharp within like 2 years. My dad and mum both met someone new. My dad remarried, my mum's not yet. I don't know why my mum and stepdad aren't married yet, but they will. You know what I mean? They've been together for like 10 years, I guess.
Mm.
Yeah.
I got lucky with that as well.
And like, I love my stepmom so much. I love my stepdad so much. My stepsisters are my sisters. I would do anything for my stepsisters. Like, I would take a bullet for them without having a second thought.
That's super nice. Yeah.
You know? And like,
But they half blood.
I know they're step.
Fully step.
Yeah, so my mum and my dad, they both remarried. And the people they married already had kids.
Hey, stepsister. I'm joking. Nah, my dad is the same. So my dad lives in Hong Kong, actually, and he has a
40k camera.
no, that's my real dad. So my real dad's no, that's my stepdad actually. See, that's crazy. That's how long my stepdad's been with me, that I've just mixed him up with my real dad and my stepdad. Like, that is generally how our
Do you
family
call him
dynamic
dad?
works. I call him dad, and I often call my real dad Joe, even though they're both my dads. But it gets confusing otherwise, because like my real dad has been in my stepdad has been in my life for longer than my real dad. So I've spent more time with my stepdad than I have my real dad. So I call my stepdad dad, and I call my real dad Joe most of the time. And then I will call him dad as well. But my dad, he left when I was really young. So I think it affected my older brother and my sister more than it affected me, which was kind of lucky in a way, because then I just got to be brought up with my stepdad.
So do you have daddy issues?
No, I get daddy confusion, I guess.
Daddy confusion.
Yeah.
That is wild. I think that's the thing with families. Like, they're very, like, well, not all of them, but a lot of families are very, very different. And loads of people have got like mad family situations.
Yeah, it's unusual now, I think. It's just pretty normal to not have a typical family.
Yeah.
I think it's more unusual to have a typical family.
Do you want a typical family? Do you want one wife with one set of kids?
I
your
don't
full
know,
life?
because yeah, obviously that would be good, but you don't know what life. I don't want to. For me, it's like I can control that, but to an extent. Like, I want to control the controllables. I can't control whether I meet someone that then down the line doesn't work for me. So I don't want to overly have that as this thing that if I don't have it, then it's stuffed. Like, I don't want to have it where it's like, okay, I have a boy, I have one wife, and that's what happens. Or I have a boy and a girl, and I have one wife, and that's what happens. Because I might end up with two girls, I might end up with two boys. You just don't know. And it's not something you can control, so why control it? Like, I think that's just genuine in life. If you can't control something, don't try and force to control it, because it's a bit like you can control how many sales you have by how much input you do. But instead of focusing too much on the amount of sales, focus on the inputs. Because then if you're focusing on the inputs and you don't get the sales, then yeah, you need to change the inputs, but you can still reward yourself for putting the inputs in. So it's like, make sure that you're taking the right actions that you need, but reward yourself based off the actions, not on the outcomes, because the outcomes can sometimes be uncontrollable. Like, that can be, you never know, just stuff happens differently. You can control how many sales. I'm not saying you can't control how many sales you have. You do more marketing, you put more into ads, you put more into this, that, you're going to get more sales. But you can't necessarily say 100%, especially for our sort of businesses that are smaller, that you're going to get 50 sales or you're going to get 30 sales. You can maybe say you're going to get between 30 and 40, but what you can 100% say is that I'm going to do, over the month, I'm going to do this. And then your focus can be doing that and becoming the person that actually takes the actions they need to take, over the person that is constantly stressing about the goal that they need to achieve. Because if you take the actions, then the goal's going to come.
Yeah.
And that way you can fully control it.
You reap the seeds you sow.
Yeah. And then you're taking control of your life instead of just always focusing on the outcome, which isn't always controllable. To an extent, obviously.
Yeah. And I think, talking about this, you reap the seeds you sow, that can go back like a long time ago. Like, not just the actions we did, the actions we do today are going to affect tomorrow. Like, for example, tonight, are you coming for all you can eat sushi?
I didn't know that was happening.
Bro, put it in the Thailand group chat.
Yeah, I don't check. I'm too busy hustling, baby.
But are you down?
Yeah.
But I know that's going to have like effects tomorrow. Like, I know I'm going to look a bit more fluffier because I'm just going to be full of carbs and water. But like, for that sort of stuff, I'm willing to sacrifice it.
Yeah, because it's not so bad. Like, you're going to be networking with other people. I need to check that I can do. Actually, I might have calls, but
8 p.m.
okay. Well, I'll see anyway. Ooh.
You can always reschedule the calls.
But yeah, where were you before you started any of the kickboxing, any of the things like that? Like, do you feel like you're in a good place, a bad place? Like, what were you like in those early days of school? Because I really feel like that's what builds a man. Like Charlie Morgan, for example, he talks about when he was 13, bullied like crazy. And that really fuels him to do better. He's someone that puts in a ton of inputs.
I think as a young lad, about 12 years old, I was wrapped up in cotton wool by my mum. Like, it was a proper mummy's boy. My dad's ex-military, and usually the son of like a guy in the military is like a hard, disciplined guy. But I think my mum kind of like took that, and I was more soft and cuddly. And I got picked on in school. I was small, like skinny, fat, like most young kids. And I had low self-esteem, to be honest. Like, I was really funny, but I didn't like really believe in myself, and I wasn't good at anything.
Yeah.
And that's annoying. Like, I was good at a lot of things, but I wasn't exceptional. And I wasn't good at football. I wasn't good at rugby. I wasn't fast. I know that's a big thing when you're young. He's the fastest guy. He's like probably the best looking guy. Whatever.
Yeah, 100%.
So I didn't have any of that. So I think I grew into the ambition. Like, I think ambition's something I got through puberty. And I don't know why that is. Maybe it's to do with testosterone and like my body's hormones changing. But I realized that like I was wrapped up in cotton wool a bit. When I was getting picked on, I didn't like it. And that's the reason I started kickboxing. And then, yeah, I feel like it just snowballs from that.
Did you hit like a rock bottom, then move on, or did it just slowly happen for you?
It slowly happened for me, but there was a pivotal change when... So I skipped like 16, 17, that time when you were going out drinking on the field. Like, I didn't do that because I was just kickboxing. And then I think I was about 18 or 19. I got swept into it and I started smoking weed and I got really depressed. I was on antidepressants and that was rock bottom for me. Like, I hated my life. I hated my situation. I was in sixth form. Like, it was just sucked. It was COVID as well, so I couldn't go kickboxing. Like, my life was pretty shit, or so I thought. And smoking weed didn't help. Obviously, it just amplified everything. It was a depressant for me. And I was addicted to it. And then I started to come off it, taking these antidepressant drugs, and I was like, look, these antidepressant drugs isn't going to solve my life. The only thing that can fix my life is me. And at that point, I was like, all right, well, what am I going to do? I'm going to waste this potential because I know deep down that I'm destined for more. Or am I just going to continue being this person who I'm unhappy with? And then from that, stopped weed,
Boom.
stopped depressing drugs,
Started running it.
started reading, started meditating, started making my bed like 3 times a day for the crack. Like I just started like doing like all sorts of shit just to become the best version of myself. And I suppose that compounds and then it amplifies.
Yeah, I love that.
What about you?
That's sick. Well, it's similar thing to you, really, man. Like for a long time, I was really unhappy with my life, and I think that comes internally about what you think about yourself as well. But my confidence was so low. I always thought everyone in school was judging me. Like I definitely got picked on 100% in school. Like I had to move school at one point because like it just was going so bad for me. And then I just like at home, in all honesty, hopefully my brother's not watching this, but he'll get it anyway. We have an amazing relationship. Me and my brother used to fight, and, like we really didn't get on. And he used to be quite harsh on me. Like, so I'd be in school, being picked on in school. I'd get home, and I'd be picked on at home, and then I would also just be thinking the whole world was against me. So then I was just picking on myself. And let's say I got an argument with my mum or with my brother, because I had such low self-esteem, I blame it all on myself. So I was just in this constant loop every day. And honestly, I was crazy depressed. Yeah, for sure, man. Like really, really depressed because I was blaming everything on myself. And I actually went through that for like 2-3 years. And it kind of, yeah, it was like really actually generally tough. I think a lot of people go through it as well. Like I really generally did not like life. I was like at the bottom set in everything as well. I had to do extra classes on the weekend. And then I was also messing about because I didn't believe in myself. So I was not making it even better for myself. I was being like the class clown because it's how you get the attention. It's how you like kind of just start to
Fit in.
But then no one respects you. So then you're in another bad situation. And then for me, like that carried on going. And I felt like the guy, I had a younger brother and I didn't feel like I was the older brother, the role model that I wanted to be. And it did really kill me. And yeah, I then had to go on ADHD medication as well, which suppresses you massively. So then I just became a zombie for like a year, where you just like, I wouldn't really speak much. I would just be walking around and like, I'd have no thoughts really going through my head. It was really, really weird, but I could work very hard because like, it just makes you concentrate loads. And then I remember I just got really, really sad. And I actually got so depressed all the time, I started hallucinating, which is kind of mad. Yeah, I started hallucinating really badly, like multiple times a week. I'd like hallucinate. Yeah, it got pretty messed up. And then I just was like, fuck this. Generally, like I cannot do this. Like I'm either gonna generally tip past the point and yeah, be really fucking stuffed here, or I'm gonna actually generally do something about it. And it really did take me to that point to make a change. And then I started going to the gym during lunch, started getting bigger. People started following what I do because I looked like a girl when I was younger. There's like photos of me stood by girls and they're bigger than me. And I was called the cute guy by the girls, bro.
Oh,
It
don't
was
want to be called
crazy.
cute.
I was even picked on by girls. Do you know how bad that is, being picked on by girls? It's horrific. And then yeah, I started training in the gym like during lunchtime, and then everyone started copying me because like they saw that I was getting bigger. The smallest guy in school, the easiest pickings in school, started getting bigger, and it just kind of went from there. Then I was doing some crazy challenge. I got into boxing. Like I was able to stand up to my brother, for example. I was able to stand up to some people in school. I started building some confidence. And then I was super still negative about myself, but it drove me so hard. Like in the initial stages, I was insanely driven about not being the guy that I wanted to be, that I was before. Like insanely driven. Like I would honestly have done anything to not be that person. And if you came in my way, I would have just fucking smashed you out completely because I just wanted to get out so bad. And I stopped complaining about everything. I used to complain to my parents all the time. And like, even if I split my shin open, I would just try and deal with it myself. Like it actually got to the point where I was just being too much like that it was actually dangerous. Like let's say I got a really bad concussion, I would just not do anything about it. Like I would not, if I was really sick, like being sick, I would hide it. Like I hid all of my like vulnerability. And in all honesty, I don't regret that. I really am happy that I did that because it stopped me craving the attention from stuff like my mom or other people or all these things. I did that for years, like generally years. I still do that sometimes now, but I'm way more relaxed about it because I feel really confident. I've got really good self-esteem now. And like when I'm speaking to someone, I'm more thinking about whether do I like this person, not do they like me? So it gives me a position of power more. Like Jenny, when I first met you, I'm thinking, do I like Will? I'm not thinking whether
You like
do you
me?
like me? I don't give a fuck about that now. I'm genuinely thinking, do I like this guy? Do I trust this guy? And that massively helped me. And then from that, I had so much determination, which is why I just started smashing out loads of stuff, like working out, like doing really hard physical challenges. I became a completely different guy, and I got taken the piss out of for a long time. And then now, those same people that used to take the piss out of me, they ask me for advice. Like, some of them I'm training because they've stepped forward in their life as well to not be that guy. And
Yeah.
like a lot of them I am training, or like a lot of them, they message me all the time asking me for advice on Instagram. And I think for me, it massively came from hitting rock bottom. And I realized I didn't need to take medication to be someone normal, because I didn't want to be normal. Where I wanted to just be a normal guy. I wanted to not speak because it allowed me to just be quiet. Like, it allowed me to not be the funny guy that everyone could take the piss out of. When I was on the medication, I just became this nothing. That then was more relaxing for me. And then I stopped it, and I generally just started building genuine self-respect. And then I've been like, I will never go back there. And now I'm not necessarily just running away from that. I'm moving towards something. So it's a way more positive thing. But in the last like year, I've had to reframe my mind to be okay with that. Because when you stop running away from something, you kind of lose some of the motivation. And then you have to build motivation in a different way.
Reprogram your why, yeah.
Yeah, massively reprogram your why. I had to massively reprogram my why to run towards something. And I will never become that guy again. Like, I'm still obviously a little bit afraid of that, because I would never want to be like that again. I want to be someone that, I don't want to be someone that complains to my mum, always going on a walk with the family and is the guy like, how long have we got? Like, and I am the complete opposite with that guy. And I used to be called in the family the like moaner, basically, the guy that, I would literally be in the family, the guy that complained all the time. They'd call me the complainer. That's what I was called within the family. Even my mum, my dad, and everyone used to call me the complainer. And like my uncle, everyone, I'd be like the complainer and all this sort of stuff. And now it's the opposite. It's like my mum is nervous that I am working too much and I push myself too hard.
I get that all the time from her.
I messaged my mum. I didn't train for a marathon. I messaged her saying I'm going to run a marathon on Thursday. She's like, nah, do you need to do a marathon? Like, can you not just do like a half marathon or something? Like, you don't run. Because I didn't run. It was just after I'd done my bodybuilding competition. And that is what I like now, because she now knows, because I tell her I'm going to do something, I always do it. Like my girlfriend, when I said I was going to do the marathon, she'd known how little training I had. I didn't even have the shoes. The running shoes came the same day of the marathon. She was like, you never told me you're going to do this marathon. You never told me this. And I said, I told you it 2 days ago. And she was like, I didn't think you were actually going to do it. And I said, listen, if I tell you I'm going to do something, you need to 100% know that I'm going to do it, because I will never say that I'm going to do something and generally mean it and not do it. And like now my mum believes in that. I think my dad can see it. My brothers and sisters can see it. Like my mum's going to the gym now. I help my brothers get into the gym. My brother now, Bertie's got a decent following on Instagram because I helped him get into like social media and stuff.
Content
And
creation.
that for me is massive, because I now am able to be, he might even become a fitness coach. Like I'm now able to generally be this role model to my younger brother, and he's only a year below me, but I can bring him up massively. I can teach him so many things now. And I think that change is so important, because if you never make that change, and you'll be stuck. And I think one of the easiest things to do, and I was lucky that I didn't have this, because I generally hated my life so much, it was upwards. The position when I got stuck was when I got this amazing job after uni. I was still training on the side, so I was earning good money because I had an amazing job, earning good money, doing loads of physical challenges. I was like comfortable. My life wasn't bad enough where I needed to make a change. My life wasn't good enough where I was where I wanted to be. And that's where Willionaire came in and helped me take that step to massively move forward. But I feel sorry for the people that live in the house that they're happy with, have the relationship that they're happy with, have the job that they're happy with, but they don't love it. They're not really where they want to be. They know something's wrong. They are in discomfort with the fact that they know they can do more, but their life is just about okay where they don't want to make a change. You're almost better being in a position where you need to make a change than being in a position where if you make a change, it could be good, it could be bad. And what you can do in that situation is, if you're in that position, is you can forcefully make it so your position gets worse. By one, understanding where other people are at that are your age so that you feel worse about your situation. Two, making your situation less relaxing. Don't watch the TV in the evening. And when you reduce these things, you become more aware of what your actual situation is. Because instead of distracting your mind with the TV in the evening, you're actually thinking about where you are in life. And like 3 is start doing physical stuff and start on the transformation a bit and just get a bit of a taste. And then when you get that taste,
Grate your teeth.
you're going to want to step into it. Because you don't want to be in that position where you're happy, but you'll feel a bit empty or not feeling like you actually own the life that you should be in, because then you'll never leave it.
Yeah, nice. Inspiring stuff, bro.
Yeah, I just rambled.
Ned, it's been a pleasure. Where can people find you?
So people find me in Willionaire for sure, but of course. And the main place you can find me is on Instagram. So Ned_Sainsbury Place. And then you can also find me on YouTube, Ned Sainsbury Place. But yeah, if you pop me a DM or anything and you've seen this and you want some advice, I'm always happy to help you. I'm not going to necessarily try and sell you anything, but I can send you some videos and stuff like that. And I hope that my content is useful for you and stuff like this is useful for you. Because if you're nervous to take the step, or you're already doing really well and you want to do even better, then yeah, hopefully I can help you with that. And hopefully these sort of videos can help you with that as well.
Boys, see you on the next one.
Cheers for having me, man.
Thank you, bro.